Hi, I'm back. I'm Jill with Copycat Crafts by Jill with yet another paper bag video. I realize we all watch other YouTubers and we get to see the cutest idea, and if they're whatever it is they're using, we run right out and find as much of it as we can, and then we come home and do that one project, and then we're stuck with 10 pounds of whatever it is we bought. So I believe this is my third or fourth paper bag video. I plan to keep trying to bring some so that we can use up all those bags that we bought in those packages of 50 or 100. So this one does not have any waste to the bag that you have to figure out yet something else to do with the end of the bag. It also it is a little more bulky for that reason, but I still think it's really a good idea and handy. And if you are worried about the bulk, there is a way to get rid of some of that bulk before you glue it together, and we can go over that when we get there. But and of course I inked mine more for my eyesight so that I could see, because when I'm working with white paper I was just having a heck of a time. So I wanted to ink it so I could see, so I could really see where I was. And as you can tell, this paper bag probably felt a little abused, but I had to do what I had to do. So if we start with, and you don't need white, I have brown, but I always grab for my brown. I have a whole package of white that I almost never use, so I'm grabbing white. I did see that with my white ones, they're even worse than my brown ones as far as being straight, or as you can see, they are very crooked. Look at this one. I'm not even sure if I'd want to use this one in this particular project, but I didn't see that until it was a little too late. So I'm just going to demonstrate how to fold them on the crooked ones, and we'll have to all agree that not a one of these are going to match up, be perfect in any way because of how crooked they're made. But that's fine. We're crafty people. We know how to hide it. So if you're going to ink, this is the easiest time to start your inking. And if you're not going to glue the pleats shut, ink inside a little bit, like just the edges, you know what I mean? Just ink inside the edges, because if you're not going to glue them, they're going to show here and there and a little bit, so you may want to make sure you ink them. Also a little bit in here, but for the most part in here as well, unless you plan to glue that shut. I did not glue mine because I wasn't too sure. I tried to remember to ink all of it, just around the edges. So we're going to get started. Here's your paper bag, and I'm just going to ink my edges really quick so that you can see what I'm doing this time. Oh, and me too, probably. Most likely I will need to see my own inking, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, now as you see, half of the bottom is on one side of the bag and the other half is on the other, and we want to fold it down the center. So the bag wants to naturally lay like this. That's fine, that's good. Before we get started, you may also want to just reinforce any gluing that they cheaped out on, and just glue some of that a little bit more stable so that they're crooked enough. We don't need them throwing us even more off. as we're trying to fold. And they're going to have unsquare, unmet sides. It's just the name of the game working with the cheap bags. The original video that I seen of a lady of a channel who was doing this, and I apologize, I didn't prep enough and get her name. I will link her video absolutely in the description box, so you can go and check out her video on this and follow her if you want to. But this is where I got this idea, and I wanted to give her credit, and I apologize that I didn't remember her name, but I will link her video. Okay, so you let the bottom fall where it naturally falls, and then you want to fold the bottom over to the other side, and you want to get it about as even as possible. If the inside starts to get too crooked or unaligned, you just want to stick a bone folder of anything you have. And before we go too far, before we crimp that edge, we want to make sure. Okay, so there. Now it's up to you if you need, to tweak. I'm not going to go that far with this. I really feel if I'm putting it in a junk journal, as long as I have everything glued and secured, I don't feel the need to have everything perfect. I think maybe I would if I came from a card making background. I think people who make cards have to be perfect. They have to work towards perfection. I picked this so that I don't have to work towards perfection. My perfection is not perfection. That's perfect for me. Okay, so now it should look like that. Flying nun. And we're just going to bone fold it. Did I? Yeah. Okay. Obviously, I am, we're going to put it this way. I'm doing this video. I did pre-prep the one that I made that I will put the paper on. I prepped for that because I seem to be incapable of doing the item, making the item, remembering sentences, and holding a semi-conversation with myself without bumping my head on my phone, shaking everything. So, alright, again, because of how crooked this side is, but we're not going to worry that. We're going to, if we're going to, which I probably would, with this one being so crooked, I would just glue this down. I didn't have to glue these. They're still open. You can glue them down. This one's so crooked, I will glue that down, so that way when I put the top paper, the paper will cover that. So I am not going to get myself too riled up. The other thing is, you want to make sure when you fold the top down, or when you fold the bottom up, I should say, that you leave enough room. This is going to be the lid. You want enough room that you're going to slide things in and out. And once we glue the sides, we will have two pockets, one in the back and then one in the front. So if you can either leave, again, you can either leave these unglued, the gussets that they have in there, and slide things behind the gusset and in front of the gusset, which I'm going to do here. Or you can glue one gusset closed so that you only have one big area. If you glue that like that, you would have one big area in the front and your big area in the back. You can do that as well. It's up to you. It's your baggy pocket thingy. So again, you just want to make sure you have enough room from the edge to where this flaps down. You're going to see that little divot. If you don't like seeing that little divot, you may want to flip it over and fold it this way. Now the divot is on the inside. So let's just do it that way on this one, just because the edges line up nicer, so that's a plus. So we're just going to do that on this one, since I did, because I like seeing the divot, and I'm not worried about. I try to keep it as mostly stress-free as possible, so I'm not going to sweat the small stuff, right? Right, ladies? Okay, so just again, so we can keep an eye on what it is we're doing, keep it coherent. I'm going to just quickly ink these edges so you can kind of see. I'm going to ink on the back. So this is what you have. There's your lid. Now you can pick whatever paper you want, but here's the reason I really think this is cute, is the back flap. You can glue, let me get a piece of paper here so we can look and see so you can see what I'm saying. Okay, so let's say this is the page in my journal. Here's my pocket. If I glue just here, maybe along here, definitely along here. So you glue in a U, and you leave that bottom part open. You can, don't I have anything? You can use that as another tuck spot. It's very tiny because you're going to glue it here. So you glue both sides and the back part. And then this becomes a little extra tuck, a little secret tuck. If you don't like that type of thing, you can glue this flat down. You can even glue it under your page and have it just as a flip up. But I probably should have folded that since it's so crooked up a hair more, but I'm not gonna. Okay, so we're gonna fold one more, just so you really can see what I find the white hard to work or hard to see, so I'm not too sure how well you're picking it up. All right. Let's see, white on white, that's probably not my best. Let me get my other. Whoop. Okay, that worked out as planned. We're going to get this work space out here so that you can perhaps see better what I'm talking about. Okay, here is the envelope. The bottom wants to fold here, so we need a flap on this side and on the back, so we have to fold the bottom in half. So you pick sort of the halfway mark, even Steven. I like to use my bone folder and stick it in the crevices to make sure they're not folding in on themselves. I pull it as straight as I can, however, sometimes all that does is knock the other side out too much with these particular bags. Okay, so now you have a flap in what I call the back and a flap in the front. I would probably put this flap in the back just because it's so crooked on this side. Perhaps if you're a bag magician, you would know how to fix that, but I'm not, so I'm just gonna call that happy. Okay, use your bone folder, kind of get them, and you may want to make sure that any loose areas, even if you're putting paper over it anyway, I just like to make sure that they're down a little bit better. Otherwise, when you glue your paper over it, that may create little air pockets under there we don't want. So we're just gonna glue some of that down on both sides. Stick glue up and under anywhere that seems to open. And I think we're pretty good. Okay. Oh, managed to not get glue there. Okay, and my glue is so thin because it's been so warm. So warm. Okay. Now, again, because I guess the secret is if it's this crooked, that's off a lot. So I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but I'm just gonna give that a quick. That is really off. That's off down here by about an eighth of an inch. That's off a lot. So we're gonna take the divot again and put it to the inside. Originally I wanted to make this on the back, but if we do that, then when we fold it up, the divot, the shortcomings of this are on the the front. But perhaps if I just do it that way anyway, like I said, we're putting paper over it, so just put your paper past that point. Or fold it to the back and put up with this mess. Is there a way to try and fix that? Now, I am far from a perfectionist, but that just seems... That's a lot of crinkly noise sound, isn't it? Okay, maybe I can... Let's see. No, that's just... That is that crooked. I think, yep, that is that crooked. Okay. So, I think I'm just going to stick with this way. That's just a little too crooked for me. Alright, so I'm gonna put this up, and before I crease it again, I just want to put my bone folder in there. Keep doing it because they are, since they're crooked, they do want to fold in on themselves. Anything that's probably more than one sheet of paper at a time. Alright, so that's what we have. Alright, so now we're going to go back to the one I made. Now, I always, if you wonder what these numbers are, that's because when I prep and make a piece, yes, this one might be obvious where it goes, but sometimes you start getting confused as to what goes where, and when you have a lot of pieces that are really close to the same size or are the same size, especially if there's a design you're trying to work out, you really want to remember which paper goes where. I always put a number. It's just what I do. So this says 4 and this says 5. My 4 and 5 are on the inside, so I'm going to do my 5. So I'm going to open it, and I try to write the number in this going in the same direction as the way I want to put it in, because sometimes we have a top or a bottom or a certain look we want to achieve. So my 5 will go in here, so that when I open it, it doesn't have to go to the bottom, obviously, but you can make it go all the way to the bottom, but it's going to get completely glued. It's not like that's a divider or anything. It's not. Alright, so I think I'm going to put my lid on this one. I like this one, but I usually need my Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1 just because I always need wiggle room. Okay, we're doing number 5, making sure that's number 5. I will check the way I have it going again before I put it in. Yep. And of course, over glue. But I like to know. Alright, so number 5 and my number 5. Gluing it right to my stand. Let's get that in and get that in. We can do this. This is easy peasy for us. Oop, did I? I think I did. I think I bumped my phone. I use it forehead level with me. So I can reach in and grab. If you're using two-way tape, well, bless you, because I don't know how you do it, but okay, and again, these are for junk journals. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for cute. All right, just gonna rip that off and do that hair. Boom. Okay, got number 5 in. There we go. Now we're gonna do number 4. Number 4. So number 4 will go this way. So let's get that glued up. So I don't know about you, but for me, I've been having difficulty with the heat this year. I normally aren't too bad, but this year I'm suffering. I am suffering. I don't know what the world, but it has been miserable. And whoop, I take every opportunity I can to complain about it. Okay, now remember, this is going to get glued like that. So far, that's what you have. Now, I don't think I had, what is this, 2? This is 2 up here. I didn't cut a piece for that. I might eventually, but for now, I did not. Now, when I glue, when I glue this on, I want to be careful not to get glue where I have the divot, because there's no paper there. So I'm going to be cutting the divot out with my round, with my circle punch after I glue it on. So now I know where I don't want glue. I don't want glue there. So, yep. I did want to mention, because I know I've mentioned that I have a few cats, and for anyone out there who has cats, if you worry about how much they drink water, their water consumption, especially if they have some sort of kidney or bladder issues, if they get those crystals, or I don't have any cat that has those issues, but I want to keep it that way, and I want to promote as much drinking water as I can. And with a cat, sometimes that's hard, so of course we do our little tricks. We give them canned food and add water into that. We, do little, sometimes we wet their dry food. We have our own little tricks, but I will say if you have a cat that you worry about how much water they are or are not drinking, you wish them to drink more, here is just a little trick to try. Put a water bottle, water bowl, or their water bowl, or a second water bowl. But if you don't want a second water bowl, that's understandable. Use the water bowl they have and put it across the room, or at least a couple feet away, 5, 6 feet away. It's really helped my cats because I do worry. I don't want to set in a problem. And there was someone, a cat rescue or someone, who said to not put their water right by their food, that they don't like drinking their water when they can smell their food. And I heard that a couple years ago, and I really didn't pay much mind to it. Then, as one of our cats got constipated, okay, don't tell him I told you, he'd be embarrassed, but I'm just saying, we were told to definitely have him get more water. I decided to try that hack and put the water bowl, it's probably about 5 feet away on the opposite wall, or not opposite, but on a different wall as their food bowl. And I couldn't believe I should have known that was going to happen. I couldn't believe the difference, how my cats decided they were going to drink more water. And so it did work. Now, did it work for all of them? I don't know, because I don't spend my day sitting next to the water bowl watching. But I do know it's definitely helped. I have to do the water. I have to put more water. I have to fill the water bowl, which I do every morning. But there used to be, they only drank a 1/4 inch of water. You dump it out, put fresh in. But this, I can really tell that they're enjoying their water free of the food smell. So you may just want to try that if you have a cat that you think just doesn't like water, or if you have a cat that seems to go after your toilet bowl or something, where you think, my God, you have fresh water. I put fresh water out for you daily, and you're in my bathroom trying to get to the water source in there. Well, it may not be because they truly love the taste of your toilet bowl water. It may be because they hate the smell of their food by their water. So give that a whirl. Do it at your own risk. I don't know what cats are finicky, fussy, going to get mad at you. I don't know. Cats can be, cats. So, okay, I could have cut that better, but see, I was yapping. So, all right, at this point, actually, not at this point. I'm gonna do the lid here, because if I don't, and I glue it first, we know something bad's gonna happen. So I'm just gonna, I don't know, I hope I'm in frame here. I'm just gonna put some glue on this piece and glue the top on. Then the only piece I have is the back piece left. I still might put a piece in the inside of the flap, but okay, which way? 2. Okay, 2. All right. Double check, glue once, right? Is that what they say? All right, there we go. Now you see I have the 3 and the 3. So this one will go like this. And the reason when it seems to be upside down like this is because when it's on the back and I lift it up, it's right side up. I want it like that. So we're going to do that. Let's fold that out of the way. And we are gluing, and I just filled this, what's it called? Sugar Bell bottle. And I had to use 3-in-1 from Beacon. There's a Dollar Tree acetone based glue that I love. It comes in small bottles and it's actually way cheaper, and it's the exact same thing. It's an acetone base, so it's exactly the 3-in-1. So, and it's way cheaper. But my Dollar Tree, that I have 2 that are semi-local that I get to, 2 that are local, and neither one has had them for months. I had to break down and order it from Amazon. And if you do order from Amazon, look for there's a seller who sells 3 8-ounce bottles for like $25. I think that's really free shipping. I think it's free shipping. I know it's free shipping, but I don't know if you have to spend more to get the free shipping. That doesn't seem to be a problem for me. Yeah. So, okay, now this is what you have. Now, I don't know how much overlay. I didn't give myself much overlay there. And you don't need a closure. You can put closure on. If you're going to, you could either put a closure on. You could either put one of the, what do they call them? I thought they call them button closures, but they're not a button, but they're a round button with a brad. And if you put it here, when you glue this down, you could put a piece of string and then just glue it down, which, let me check my thing. I may have one, because then I will do that just so it has a closure. Yes, I'm going to do that. See, I am freestyling. Whoop, can't. I'm freestyling. Alright, let's see what I got in my case. Cut out a bunch of these, and then I always end up going back to the paper and using the paper ones. I like to get a couple so that it's sturdy, but that may be too many right there. Okay, 2 I think is fine. I don't know, that's probably too big. I do have different sizes. I do. It's not very round. Yes, I like that size better. And let's just see if I have other. No. I don't know. I spend my time cutting a million of these out and then reject them when I need them. I'm like, nope, doesn't work, doesn't fit, don't like the color. And then I have to go and cut out some new ones. Okay, I think I'm just going to go with that one. Alright. Put that aside. I'm going to glue these together. Oh, this one already. Oh, this one's. Oh, alright. Alright, that one's already doubled. It's another trick I like to pull on myself. Surprise! Alright, let me get the brad. Sorry about the arm. Alright, we are just gonna grab a brad. Whoop. And I am going to put this where I think I want it and make a little. Let's see, that's going to close there. I'm going to have it come down. So I want it. I hate to put it up too high. So I'm not gonna. Okay. You can take a credit card or some sort of protector, put it under there, and then take your pokey tool. Of course, mine's hiding from me. It's always the last thing you pick up, right, ladies? And make a little bit of a hole. I have to put protection under it because the second I trust myself, I learn I shouldn't have trusted myself. Okay, now I'm going to use something really thin. So I'm not going to need something behind it. I am going to use something as basically as thin as kite string. I don't feel I need anything super. Whoop. Just going to throw it around. I actually like using kite string, but I do a lot of small things, and I like when it's a little off color. So, alright, I will need my glue because I'm going to need to glue it in the back. So, because I know I'm gluing that down. Now, even if I glue it down, this, and then I glue this down, I'm going to also just put a piece of tape over it, and I think if I loop it a little bit, gives me a little bit more glue strength. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, but I just want to look for close to center. It doesn't have to be perfect because we know the front's not perfect, but I don't want it so awfully crooked. Okay, so it's at 5, so 2.5 is center. I can mark that because that is where it's going to get glued. And hidden then. And I don't need a whole bunch because I am going to tape it. Okay, I'm going to tape it. Just want to give that a second to dry before I go putting tape on it. This is a really heavy duty tape here. Oh, okay. So what happens when you... Okay, one way to get glue off your fingers. Okay, let's see if I can... It keeps pulling all the glue off my fingers. Alright, now when I tape something, I feel the need to really work the tape down because I don't want that tape coming up when I'm sliding stuff under there. So there we go. Okay, there it is. I'm gonna cut this piece off. Better. There it is. Whoop, there it is. Let me push this up. There it is. Alright, so now, before I glue it though, I want to get this on. There's my hole. Gee, I really didn't measure. Let's see how far off my hole is. Oh, just a little. Let's see. Just a little. I could even move it over actually if I wanted to. I don't know. I think what I will do though is to protect the paper is I'm going to also put a piece of tape on the inside. Why did I grab that? This is my really good tape. It's my really strong tape. So I'm going to put a piece of tape on the inside. That's going to help to hold my paper together because my whole protector, or yeah, like the whole protectors are so big for these tiny mini brads. I'm not really protecting anything. But putting that in gives me the opportunity to move the hole a little bit. So if I put this at, just trying to get it. Okay, so right there will be the hole. Okay, let me erase. Okay, we can tell Jill erases a lot. It's hard for me to find a well, eraser that will work. Okay, I got my plastic thing under there. Got my new mark. Put in my little hole. Just want to make sure I go. Yep, through the tape. Whoop, grab my. Oh, I want to do this. What? Oh my goodness. Can't put this on without inking it. Okay. Much better. Alright, this ought to be fun. Not necessarily this part, but closing it or opening the legs, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Because my fingers anymore are pretty much numb. Not sure totally why that is, but it runs in my family. So now after the legs are split open, all right, I'm not going to call them that. I don't know what to call them, but where's my okay, does anybody see? Oh, there it is, my thing. Okay, I like to just give it a little press. Now, if you want, you can put another piece of tape down because you're going to be sliding things in and out. I don't know if I'm going to, but yep, that's correct. There's that. And let's just get this workable like that. Then we're gonna put in a little loop so that if we want to put a little dangle on there, we can. Put that aside, and there we have it. Open. All right, last step, we're almost there. Okay, put your glue on this side because we're not going all the way up over there. So put your glue on the side this side that's going to flip, and because we are going to be using it as a pocket, let me see what, oh, where is it? Yep, okay. I don't mind being a little overly generous with the glue. If it's too globby somewhere, I like to take my finger and just sort of smear out the globs, but then hold it. You can clip it if you want. I'm just gonna hold it so that I can. Is that all the glue I use? And that little corner's gonna stick up on me? No, you aren't. I was just gonna try to. Okay. Let me wipe some of these off. I should have called myself the messy crafter. That's. I guess there's always more than one fitting name, right? And there you have it. Front, back, down. Glue it down. Make sure the parts you don't want glued don't get glued. Unless you want them glued. But if you leave that open, you really get a nice big pocket in the front, and then just a regular pocket in the back. Now if you want it bigger, a big pocket in the back, put a gusset in and you will have a bigger pocket. I don't want that much bulk. I think it's bulky enough. Take my little string, wrap it around 3 times. That's the secret number. glue away. Keep losing more and more glue here. And it is done. Well, other than putting a piece in on the top if I want. Now all you have to do is decide if you want this to show. If you're just going to glue it, you want another piece here. If you're going to put it under one of your pieces, this is your page, you can glue it on like that, or you can glue it under the page, still have a flip up, and if you do that, you might want to add a pocket sideways on top of this. Just leave it as that, put a nice picture there, but I think that's a cute idea. And I'm definitely going to link the lady who did this, and please check out her video. She kind of does it better than me, but I'm jealous. So we all expected that, right? Okay, well, I'll let you go. If you have a cat, try my cat hack. And if not, get started on one of these. Maybe make a couple. Tag me or reach out to me on Instagram, because I'd love to see what you make. I have the same name there, Copycat Crafts. So, yep, that's it. Okay, happy crafting. Hugs.